I want to hit you wrong. Oh. Because you're gonna get lighter. Are you? Are you? Are you gonna get lighter? I'm gonna give you my heart. Oh. I don't care if you're gonna tear me apart.
This video is going to be a little bit different, so bear with me, guys. It's that time of the year again. Hanukkah's this week, Christmas is in 2 weeks, followed by New Year's, which means there's going to be at least a couple weeks that will be quiet in the streets, not to mention COVID lockdowns. Not a lot of business deals are happening, and most Americans are spending time with their families. I don't know why, but I dread this holiday season every year. I don't know where I'd rather be, maybe intoxicated in another part of the world, maybe working in a cabin somewhere, maybe just at home acting like it's any other month of the year. But I never really enjoyed this time of year in the past. As a teenager, I didn't have a lot of close friends to hang out with, and I hated being home with my family. As an adult, I was lonely in a seemingly empty Washington, D.C. when everybody else was with their families or friends for the holidays, and I didn't really know where I was supposed to be. Some of the lowest points in my life happened during this time of the year. As I touched on in another video, I broke Shabbat for the first time in January of the year after I moved out of Los Angeles and began my journey away from religion. That was the year 2017. Trump had just been elected, and I was trying to figure out if political media was the right career path for me. The following winter was when I gathered enough confidence to finally ignore the people that I felt doubted me and quit my writing job at the Independent Journal Review, diving headfirst into my first ever real estate business. I don't know if you remember, also from another video. My dream since day one was to start my own money-making business, and briefly in 2017 I was successful. I was leasing and subleasing out apartments on Airbnb, and I enjoyed it and was so proud of it. It was very brief though. I made a lot of money at first, but perhaps due to my inexperience and overeagerness, I ran into several roadblocks, including a legal threat that forced me to shut down the entire business. I lost all the money I made. I also went into debt and suffered a really bad depression. I suddenly didn't see any point in all of it. I felt like I was running my entire life chasing after this dream of becoming my own boss and running a successful real estate business, and it just wasn't happening. One after the other, I was hit with roadblocks. I was having public meltdowns on Twitter that had nice strangers online reaching out to me and asking if I was okay. Everything I did around this time of the year felt like a failure. I couldn't understand how other people survived and made money in this world that was full of bureaucracy and complicated regulations and taxes. Nothing felt like it was ever moving. I called my bank and I asked if they can give me a loan for people who are in debt. They offered me a cash advance. That was my first time knowing what a cash advance was, and it was a terrible idea. I think I was just very desperate. I paid around 45% interest on that cash advance, falling into even more debt. I was applying to jobs like crazy, looking for something to save me from this insane debt I was in, but there was nothing. Everything was shut down for the holidays. I briefly landed a job packing Instacart bags at Whole Foods since they were the only place still open and hiring. It was a minimum wage thing, and I still very quickly lost that job because I was bagging everything too slowly. Maybe it was because of my depression, which was really impairing my ability to do anything productive except get drunk and cry on the floor of my apartment and then drag myself to Whole Foods, and then I'd do my job zoning out and bagging people's groceries, pretending not to notice when people I knew recognized me because I felt embarrassed that that's what I was doing. Eventually, I decided to pursue a job in the service industry. For me, as a semi-famous writer and editor in the conservative media world, that was sort of like a fall from grace, even though I did really enjoy being a waitress. Looking back, I know I shouldn't have felt ashamed at all. I was hardworking, and I was just trying to make money. But my first service job, it was the only job that I got at the time, was that strip club that I had discussed in another video, which go ahead and check it out if you're interested. I got that strip club job because of my lack of experience in the service industry. The only job I got accepted to with my lack of service experience was that strip club job that I discussed in another video. I took comfort in knowing that at least, even if I was a total failure at everything, at least I can be good at being a strip club waitress. I mean, how hard could it be? I was just standing around looking pretty and serving a couple of drinks while men were literally handing me wads of cash. But I still wasn't able to keep that job. I got fired from that job because they wanted me to actually be a stripper, something that I had been pretty upfront about with them from the very beginning. They tried to coerce me into dancing on stage naked. And when I said no, they told me to leave. They said that by being there and not dancing, I was directing money away from the actual dancers. To me, it didn't make any sense. They didn't even pay me the minimum wage that they owed me for the time I spent there. And that whole experience sent me into an even worse depression. At that point, I felt really good for nothing, a waste of space on this planet. I couldn't even keep up a strip club job. My friend Leanne, who this video is dedicated to, was there for me at a time when I really needed somebody to tell me that it was going to be okay. And I'm extremely grateful to her for that. So that was 2017. In the years since, I vowed to myself to never spend the holiday season in Washington, D.C. again. In 2018, I spent it with my friends' families in Pennsylvania and Florida. In 2019, I spent it in London and then Peru. The thing with the holiday season is that it reminds me of all the times that I was feeling desperate and good for nothing, all alone with no family around because I was scared that they tried to convince me to move back with them in Los Angeles, and no friends around because they were all home with their families. I know I had family and friends that I could have called, but I was just too depressed to talk to anybody. And I felt too ashamed, and I felt like they would try to convince me to not do what I wanted to do, which was leave the religious community. Business is so slow around this time of the year, so it wasn't like I could really work on my career, which is hard because it's pretty much the thing I think about most every day, all day. The fear of not being successful and once again going broke and in debt and dependent on somebody else is almost paralyzing to me. I'm always looking over my shoulder and waiting for something to go wrong, something to get me in trouble, just like has been the case with every income endeavor over the past 4 years. Waiting for somebody to come after me, maybe a stalker or a terrorist organization to come and push it all to pieces. I wish I'm being paranoid when I talk like this, but this has been my reality, and I don't understand how other people do it. How do you survive in this world? I know I'm not stupid. I graduated with the highest honors in a STEM degree from UCLA, and I'm almost finished with my dual MBA and comms degree from Johns Hopkins University. And I have so many connections that can help me. How do other people without these resources do it in this world? Even now, having felt like I found the right career as a real estate agent, I'm constantly running into roadblocks. I never realized how extremely regulated this industry is. You can't talk to people without sending them a legal disclaimer. You can't advertise most listings without a ton of rules. You have to pay so much money every year to the government and the realtors associations and all these people involved. It's like one giant real estate Ponzi scheme. And the suspense and uncertainty of waiting for my first sale to happen is killing me. I don't know, man. I hope this is the worst it gets. I hope my depression doesn't come back with full force this year like it did last year and the year before that. I hope being with a guy I love this holiday season will make this year different, not depressing, maybe even fun. I usually dread this time of year, but I really hope this year proves me wrong. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. By the way, everything I hope for myself, I hope for you too. You guys motivate me to do well every day, and to come and talk to you about it. Maybe you can relate and you're feeling the same way. So, thanks for watching, and let me know how you like this style of video making, by the way, if you want me to make more like this. And if you haven't already, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel so you know when the next one drops. Hopefully, we'll have some more jolly stuff in the future.